What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Hope 2024 is going well for you so far. Just wanted to kind of give a quick end of year wrap up to everything that happened in 2023 and take a look at my plans for what's coming up on 2024 for, not just, the channel, but for here on the channel and then here around the house too. So anyways, as you know, a year ago at this time, started 2023 off on a bad note. A year ago today, it was when I was burying Casey. New Year's Eve last year, in 2022, New Year's Eve 2022, he had suffered a stroke and had to be unfortunately put to sleep. He would have been 16 back in March. It's a big loss for me because he is a sweetheart, very possessive of everything. But anyways, so New Year's Day last year, 1 year ago today, he was buried out by my parents' barn. February came around, and let's see, February was when I went to war with Spectrum. They had a tech come out to hook up my neighbors, and in the process of doing that, he instead decided to use my line, cutting my service and using it to hook up the neighbors. Then he played dumb about it when I went out to confront him about why my service was being turned off, because TV, internet were both turned off. And then when I called Spectrum when he was still out there, they were like, well, we can't do anything until we get a tech out to check your line. And it's like, you got a tech out here cutting my service already. And he played dumb about it when I went out to confront him, and the techs that came out the next day, they found out that he not only cut my line, he buried my line literally in the dirt to cover up his tracks. So, yeah, he got in big trouble for that. I was not happy. They did discount my next bill for the time that I was down, because it was literally their fault. That should never have happened. I can understand taking someone offline basically for a little while to hook up, change service, or that kind of thing. That kind of thing is going to happen. But if you take someone down and intentionally take someone down and play dumb about it, that's crap. That should never happen. But March was when my mom was diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis. Anyways, and that was rough hearing about that, knowing what she was going to be going through with that. April was when, and also in March, I also heard that she's is in the plans for her to have surgery on her esophagus, because she was having trouble swallowing solid foods. And then April, is on Good Friday in April, I took my Jeep to the dealership to get an oil change, tire rotation. Even though my service contract with the dealership was over, I continued going there because, you find a good mechanic to work on your vehicle, you trust them, you're going to keep going to them. So anyways, they sent me back on the road, and next thing I knew, I lost oil pressure, had smoke coming out the back of the Jeep. Turns out they forgot to tighten the oil filter before sending me out on the road, causing me to basically have to wait over an hour for a tow truck to come get me and tow me back to the dealership. Yeah, obviously was not happy with that. I have since found a different mechanic or place to go to get my Jeep service. So Uh, June was my mom's surgery. Um, and then it's it was around that time too. I was starting to look around for houses to move back here to Bucyrus, to be closer to my mom and dad to help take care of them. And end of July was when I got this house under contract. And in the meantime, until I closed on the house, my parents were like, "Hey, why don't you start moving stuff up here to our house? You can store it up here, stuff up here, and then, you know, it's only a few minutes to take that stuff to this house to after I get moved in." So stuff like my trains, board games, jigsaw puzzles, uh, books, a bunch of the tubs I had stuff organized for here in the office, uh, basically Christmas decorations, that kind of thing. Those all got moved out to up to my mom and dad's house. I think it was like 6 trips over 5 weekends. Basically, just back of the Jeep was just jam packed. That had the back seats folded down, bringing stuff up, and take them into the house to pack up or to save and everything. And then it was mid-September was when I closed on the house, and was not only coming up twice a day or twice on weekends, but once or twice during the week as well. Basically taking half days during the week to bring a load up, do a little work, and then on the weekends do a lot more work and stuff during the day. But it was very exhausting, as you can imagine, because except for when I rented a U-Haul trailer to haul the layout and bookshelves and shelves for here in the office up here, and then of course the U-Haul truck then for the trailer for the or for the layout, and then the truck I rented for the final move of the furniture and everything. Other than that, I was driving back and forth with the Jeep, so I put a little bit of miles on the Jeep, because it's like a little over an hour drive up here from my place that I was living down in Hilliard. Got moved in is on Sunday the 22nd of October when I finally got everything moved in, brought Smokey up from down to Hilliard. And anyways, that was 2 days later on the 24th was when Mom went in the hospital. And unfortunately she passed on the 30th of October. We're still dealing with that. I'm dealing with all the firsts and everything with the holidays and everything. But yeah, it's been rough not having her around. So then got settled in, kind of pretty much settled in. Of course, Christmas was Mom's favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday too. So I not only got the tree decorated, got basically I couldn't reuse my window candles for Christmas decorations that I've been using for years down in Hilliard. So what I ended up doing was getting these like light up decorations for to hang in the windows, to light up the windows. And my porch lights, I've got 2 porch lights on my front porch, so I've got green in one and red in the other for the bulbs. And then I also got a string of LED lights to put around on the front porch. So the house is really lit up nice. Neighbors I got to meet the neighbors that way too when I was out decorating. They said it's been a few years since anyone's decorated this house for Christmas, so so they were really liking seeing the house lit up and everything. I got plans to expand a little more next year. Not necessarily Clark Griswold wise from Christmas Vacation, but a little extra stuff that I got to thinking would look nice for lighting up the house and everything, and the sidewalks and everything. So then Christmas was kind of rough because the Friday before Christmas, which is the 22nd, was my dad got admitted to the hospital here in Bucyrus. Went to the hospital that Saturday afternoon to visit him, and before they got him transferred down to OSU down in Columbus. Basically, he had a bunch of gallstones that had to be removed, and so he was down there up until last night, New Year's Eve. He was released late yesterday, and I was outside the house waiting for him and my brother. My brother had been going down every day to be with him, which was good because I was going out to the house to take care of the dog and everything and take care of the house, but I'd rather my brother was the one that went down to the hospital to be with Dad, because he is a volunteer firefighter, EMT, so he knows a lot more about the medical terminology and procedures and all that, which I know some that I've picked up from watching Emergency and ER, but not a lot of stuff like the gallstones and stuff like that is going on. A lot of the procedures and stuff like that that's completely foreign to me. About a friend of mine, I was talking to a friend of mine when Dad was in the hospital. A friend of mine was like, I bet if your dad was a train, you would know everything about him. So I was like, yeah, probably. So, but so anyways, but Dad is released. He was got back home in time for New Year's Eve. So, so 2024 is starting out on the right note with Dad back home and recovering. Probably about 6 to 8 weeks he's going to have to go back and quite possibly have to have the gallbladder removed, which I've heard other people say that, that's other folks having that done and everything. So it's just he's got so much going on with him right now. It's like, yeah, we don't want any more drama and everything. We just want things to calm down, go back to as normal as possible. So anyways, that's kind of the pretty much quick overview of 2023. So looking ahead at 2024, my plans for 2024. The big one right now is getting the detached garage out in my backyard, getting that fixed up. The layout is stored in there, my art studio is stored in there, and there's a bunch of other like appliance boxes and other stuff that's getting stored out there that basically I want to get the garage fixed up to make it more livable space, because even though it's insulated, it's kind of cold. I did notice the other day when I was out there, there is a gap between the door frame and the garage, the overhead garage door. So, there's right now, with it being in the 30s outside, there's cold air coming in. and you know, in the summertime that can get it can get kind of warm out there. The walls are insulated already, so it's just a matter of, you know, getting things fixed up, finishing the walls. I want to update the electric out there to better standards. Right now there's a small panel out there that has the screw-in type fuses on the fuse box. I want to switch those to breakers. Basically get things updated for out there to more and better lighting, and as well as electrical outlets around the walls and everything. I was thinking about too, maybe getting like a half bath put in out there. I'm not really sure. That might be a little bit more because there's no running water out there, which I'm not really concerned about because I didn't have running water except for the washer and dryer down the basement at my old place. But you know, I don't know. I'm keeping that as an option right now. Not necessarily in there because you know, I can easily, you know, just lock up the garage and run into the house if I need to. So I am going to be doing a video walkthrough that I'll be posting here on the channel of what I'm wanting to get done, and basically the state of the garage right now, and basically what I'm wanting to have done. So that way, not only can I give that to, you know, whoever I want to have, you know, get estimates from for getting that work done. But you know, if you guys, anybody wants to, you know, donate anything, you know, I can put in the description of the video. I can put my PayPal address, and you know, folks can, if anybody wants to donate money for putting towards getting the garage fixed up, you know, they can do that through PayPal or something. So, but basically, I'm hoping to get that going on probably by around April. Basically, the layout and what I can of what's in there right now is going to be moved over to the attached garage that's attached to my house. Thing is, if I doing that, I have to I'm gonna have to leave the Jeep out in the driveway, and you know, this time of year with the snow and everything, provided we get a lot of snow, which I'm guessing we're going to, since I'm further north than when I was in Columbus. But you know, I don't want to park my Jeep outside and have to deal with snow and ice on it and everything. So you know, I got a nice garage. I want to keep the Jeep in the garage and not have to deal with scraping windows and everything every morning or whenever I need to go somewhere. So of course, wait for that, and then of course once the garage gets fixed up, then I can get the layout back in and get to work on getting it hooked up and running again. So right now it's basically, I've got the sections in there kind of assembled just to see how much space I've got, and got quite a bit of space. I'm going to be able to, I think, not necessarily on the ends, but on the sides, I can, the one side, actually, well, both sides, I'll be able to get on the outside of the layout for some different angles for videos and pictures, that kind of thing. So, anyways, let's see, what else was the other thing I wanted to do too, and plus, you know, fixing that garage up, that's going to improve the value of the property too. So, because there'll be a nice space out there for anybody using it. I'm not going to, the only time the overhead door is going to be used is to get stuff in and out. I'm not going to be parking the vehicle in there or anything like that. So, But one thing I am going to do for both garages I'm wanting to do is, right now both driveways are stone driveways. The one to the detached garage has a bit of grass growing up around it and weeds and stuff. One thing I'm wanting to do is basically get both driveways paved. I'm thinking concrete, because blacktop I know wears out quite a bit and cracks, and you have to get resealed and everything, whereas concrete, like what my neighbors across the street from me have for their house, it's a nice solid place. It's going to be nice and smooth for clearing snow and stuff off, and making it a little bit nicer than just stone, and which can get uneven and everything. And so think about getting estimates on doing that. But luckily they're both short driveways, so it shouldn't take too much to do that. Regarding videos, I'm planning on doing for this year. In May I turn 50, which I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to it or not. I'm not really ready to say I'm half a century old, but yeah, one thing, as anyone that's been watching my channel knows, and anyone that knows me knows very well, is I love movies big time. So what I'm thinking about doing is basically doing 50 years of movies video series. Basically, I'm probably going to divide it up, first 10 years, second 10 years, and so on. So like from 74 to 70, or to 83, then 84 to 93, or whatever, and then basically each year look at my favorite movies from each year and choose my favorite movie of the year. Of course, anyone that knows me knows what 1975's favorite movie is going to be, but if there's enough for each year, I might also do another one in October, or for October, for my favorite horror movies for each year. Anyone knows me also knows that I'm a huge horror movie fanatic, so it's going to get more difficult as the years go on, because I'm more partial to stuff from the 70s and 80s, whereas some of the new stuff that's come out lately, it's like just rehashing old movie tropes and stuff like that, for what's already been done in past movies. So I'm also going to be getting back to work here pretty shortly on a video series that I kind of came up with. It's a couple of years ago I came up with the idea, and I've gone through and I found the reviews for it. Basically, when I was growing up, there's I always oftentimes watched Siskel and Ebert on TV, and because we didn't have internet back then, so finding out about movies, that was the big way of finding out about movies, was watching their show, and hey, that sounds like it's a good movie coming out and everything. So anyways, thanks to YouTube, there's a bunch of their shows that are out on YouTube, where I start. 2 years ago, I was looking at some of the shows, and I started looking up some of the movies that are in my collection to see what the reviews of them were. One of the first ones that I looked up was Christmas Vacation. Both of them, and anyone knows me knows Christmas Vacation is my very favorite Christmas movie. And Siskel and Ebert both gave the movie a thumbs down. And I was like, the reasoning behind it was stupid. I mean, it was stupid reasons for why they did not like the movie and everything. And so I kind of came up with the idea of a series called Critiquing the Critics. And basically I look at their reviews of movies that I do not agree with their reviews, and I examine, where I believe they got the reviews wrong. Some of the reviews, they talk about an event that happened in the movie, and it's like, no, that's not what happened. So basically, it's going to be a video series on that where I'll look at several of their reviews. I might look like some movies like the original Amityville Horror Trilogy, Amityville Horror, Amityville 2, The Possession, Amityville 3D. I might have those lumped together in one episode of the video series. Same with like the first 4 Friday the 13th. I'm not going to examine all Friday the 13th. Basically, I'm just going to limit the reviews to shows that are to movies that are in my collection. Because if I know there's movies that I've liked that I don't really care for. Well, I like them, but I don't want to add them to my collection. But they might have reviewed them on the show, and I might disagree with that. But it's like, okay, that's not in my collection, so I'm not going to worry about those. So there's that series that I'm going to be doing, or I'm working on. Another video that I actually started thinking about doing before I moved back up here to Bucyrus. That is a video on the history of the school buildings in the school district that I graduated from here. Outside of Bucyrus, I went to Winford High School, and Winford, basically, we had the high school was built in the 60s, I believe it was. Again, I'm still working on the research and everything, but there were also these other schools around that part of the county that the district was in, which were basically had become the grade schools when the schools got consolidated back in the 60s. And the 3 of the 4 buildings were, as of last year, were torn down, or they've been gone for years, ever since they built the new kindergarten through 8th grade building. I think it's kindergarten through 8th grade, I'm not sure exactly, and not only that, but then they heavily modified, several years ago, they heavily modified the high school. I drove by it last summer with my dad, or no, it was last spring with my dad, and the high school, it's so different. I mostly don't recognize any part of it. They've changed that high school so much since I graduated from there in '92. And then I was thinking about doing a video series on that, on the history of the schools and stuff, because the schools that were torn down, I mean, they're basically empty lots. Well, 2 of them are empty lots now. One, there's a house on the lot now, although from what I understand, the wife of the owner of the house is the sister of someone I graduated from high school with. So, of course, have to get permission from her or from them to do pictures or video of the property where the school used to be. Basically, I want to go out to the locations and show the history of the schools, show what they were like when they were open, and then the locations now. But what has rekindled the thoughts of doing that video, on Christmas night, a friend of mine texted me and told me that the Mount Zion building, which is on the south end of the district, the newer portion of the building was torn down. I drove by it the day after Christmas, and there's the original, very old Mount Zion building, which was the when I went to school there, it was the old building. There was a breezeway, and then that connected then to the new building, which was built in the 60s, I believe it was, when all the consolidations happened. The old building, when that was just the Mount Zion School, my grandma actually graduated from there. And my mom was a student at Woodford when the schools all consolidated and the new building got added, the high school got built, and all that. And then my brother and I, we went to kindergarten at the Mount Zion building, and then we went through junior high from 6th to 8th grade at that school as well. And my senior year, my brother's 8th grade year was when that school was shut down because the old building, the furnace went out, or was releasing toxic chemicals or something, or toxic fumes or something. And then the new building, they found that there was asbestos in the ceilings or something. So they basically shut down the school. 7th and 8th grade got crowded in over at the high school with where I was at, and that was the year when my senior year was when a lot of the changes started happening with the schools and everything. And of course now all these great old schools are disappearing, and no effort's been made to preserve the schools or anything like that, like as a museum or anything. Every year when I watch A Christmas Story, they show the school scenes. The school in A Christmas Story, I mean, that was basically very typical of the schools around here that we used to have. And you look at even in the classroom scenes, it was very typical of what it was like back when I was in grade school. Back before we had the internet, before we had cable TV in schools, that kind of thing. And it's just, you watch A Christmas Story, or I watch A Christmas Story, and it brings back so many memories of what it was like when I was a kid back in grade school and everything. So, but yeah, that's it's going to be kind of a personal kind of video of looking at the history of the schools and everything, and seeing how much has changed over the years. I mentioned a while back too, I'd been working on a movie called The Amityville Pussies, where basically I was taking is basically a horribly made movie of basically videos of interjecting videos of the cats upset with me when they came back from the vet's office. And basically the whole plot was going to be the cats got possessed from me watching the Amityville movies, and is basically going to be kind of a spoof of not just the Amityville movies, but all these horrible movies that people are making, where they basically just are slapping Amityville in the title and calling it an Amityville movie. So I was going to, been thinking about doing, I found the script I had written for the movie, and I was just going to do a read through of what I had written so far of the movies. Of course, the whole plans for that movie got scrapped when Casey passed away, but I'm thinking maybe around October just do a read through of the script that I had written, and to kind of give everyone an idea of what I had planned on doing. But then of course, once I get the layout going in the garage, I'm going to be doing a video series. I've got this whole script written, or the outline of it written up, basically of basically video series on the layout, basically the history of the layout, my model railroading history, how the layout was built, wiring, bench work, all that. Take a look at the planning for the track work, look at the rolling stock operations, basically do like video chapters of everything regarding the layout. So But anyways, that's kind of my plans for 2024. Um, hopefully 2024 goes a lot more smoother than 2023 did. Um, yeah, 2023 did not go anywhere near as planned for me. Obviously, when I started a year ago, I never imagined that I would be owning my own house. Um, and I didn't was not expecting, you know, the losses I had with Casey and my mom, and the scare we had with my dad, and yeah, it's 2023. I'm glad 23 is over. Now with Dad back home and recovering, hopefully 2024 is going to go a lot smoother. So anyways, babbled on long enough about everything going on, and hopefully, like I said, things go smoother this year. So hope everything's going well for you folks. Hope you all have had a good holiday season, and hope 2024 goes well for you all as well. So take care. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and you'll get notifications when I put new videos out. And I feel like I'm forgetting. I'm always feeling like I'm forgetting something. But anyways, any questions or anything, please put them in the comments. And see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.